On that note, let me warmly welcome you to the 2020 edition of the Akada Children's Book Festival here in Lagos. This year it's virtual, and my name is Ifeoma Edigbe. I'm the chairman of Clever Clogs Limited. So what is this festival all about? It's really to say that books are important, and that the way to get children to read is to expose them to books at an early age. The way to get anybody to read is for them to start reading early, and to promote authors that are of African descent, since we're Nigerian, since Akada Books Festival and Clever Clogs Nigeria Limited is a Nigerian organization.
My name is Abiola Seriki Ayeni, Director General, Office of Education Quality Assurance, Lagos State Government. Firstly, it's crucial that you position yourself for government partnerships. Government is committed to providing an enabling environment to all of our stakeholders, not just a privileged few. You must keep this in mind as you create your end products.
If you want to write engaging children's books, you need to pay attention to detail, and I'll explain in a bit. Number 2, decide. You are going to have to be very specific and make decisions about what type of book, what category, and so on and so forth that you want to write about and for. Number 3, read. You are going to have to read copious amounts of industry material even before you get to number 4. And number 4 is to write.
Step 1. We can't go anywhere without words. So the first step is scripting. Yeah, so you have your book and it's got beautiful words in it, but you need to get it ready for the screen. When you were writing your book, you should have, not all of you might have, but you should have thought about the world your characters are living in. Now, what does that mean? It means that you have to give them a history, a backstory. Where do they live? Who do they live with? What kind of housing do they live in? What is their social bracket? All those things. What are the family dynamics or the dynamics between the characters? How do they see the world? And in building this history and backstory for your characters, you give them a unique voice.
Okay, so first thing is, what is animation essentially? Animation is a method of photographing sequential drawings, models, and even puppetry to create an illusion of moment. That's essentially what it is. So whether it be drawings or models, either it be drawings like in form of 2D or in models in form of 3D, or even puppets, which is stop motion, it's a way to arrange those movements in a way that it gives you an illusion like they're moving. So that's what happens in animation. You actually believe that these characters are alive, you believe their story, you believe who they are, and all that is because the entire production has been animated for you to believe that.
So the sixth thing you have to consider, or at least I considered in choosing the right publishing platform, is reporting. Not so important to everyone, but I'll tell you why it was important to me. Now, if you really want to make an informed decision about how your book or your content is selling, sometimes you want to see the report. You want to see how many people are buying which book, at what time, from what country, when do they buy, and that's why the reporting is important.
You're going to include illustrations in your work. You need to understand that that is not the way to think. You're not just writing a linear story where you're going from the beginning to end and you're going to decide where you're going to put illustrations, especially if it's a picture book. It actually takes a lot more planning than that.
Next thing you want to determine, your characters. What kind of characters do you want to portray in your book? Do you want human characters or you do want animal characters? Animal characters are easy for children to relate with, but human characters show them the reality that they are used to. So you need to determine which character you want to portray in your book. Do you want it to be animals conversing, or do you want to be a discussion between humans, children of course, and adults? Because your focus is at children, you have to ensure that the characters reflect children's reality.
You need to also understand how users use the internet as it relates to looking for a product or looking for your book. there's what we call the zero moment of truth. That's ZMOT. Now, truth is when anybody is looking for anything, especially when you're using the internet, you need to go through that ZMOT, zero moment of truth.
Let me just give you a brief summary of the channels that you may consider putting yourself out there on. So this can either be your business or yourself personally. I tend to think that it's important to have a representation both for your business and for you. As an author, you want to stand out. As an author, oftentimes people want to know the person behind the writings.
Part of getting paid ropes into knowing the legal aspect of things, which is the contract. So if you are doing illustrations for a client, it's very important for you to have a contract and to go through the contract carefully and be sure that the terms are terms that you are comfortable with. You can have a lawyer review it with you, but working professionally without a contract is not advisable.
What is illustration? Illustration is the visual interpretation of verbal content. It could be stories in text, it could be animations, it could come in form of object act, where objects are used to express the meaning of a text or a story.
I think it's so important to approach the story in a very simplistic way. As the illustrator, it's my job, first of all, to get a hold on the story and say, what's this story about? What really is the author trying to pass across to the children, and what is the very basic message of the book? Once you have that out of the way, you can start to develop the fun parts about how you're then going to translate that message to a child who's reading the book.
If your customer doesn't find value in your app, they would delete the app from their phones. It's what is going to happen. So customers would only keep apps or even download apps that they find value in. So very important that every objective we set for our app must be linked to a customer value. That is very important. That's, I think, one of the most important things, you really need to take out from this workshop.
But now let's go to the benefits of editing. Before I even tell you any of the benefits of editing and hiring a professional editor, especially if you can just stretch that naira or kobo, pound or penny or dollar a little further to make sure that your work gets the attention it deserves. Well, one, the aim of editing and proofreading is to make your work better.
What exciting goal have you achieved? You've written a book, that's an exciting goal. What else? What exciting goal have you achieved? Write it. Number 5, what topic have you spent hours developing yourself on? Like you read about it, you research on it, you attend trainings on it. Like you're better than the average person because you've developed yourself on that topic.
It has been a truly enlightening day with inspiring guest speakers, 10 workshop sessions covering various topics around perfecting your book craft, digital books, and the business of books. If you missed any session, you can always request for the recording via www.cleverclogsbooks.com/Akada. If you're yet to register for yourself and the children for tomorrow's event, please hurry now to the website and register. Remember, registration is free. There will be various book readings, storytime sessions, music, special kids comedy session done by Chioma Omerua, aka Chiggle, book chats, mini workshops for children, and information sessions for parents and teachers. Join us at 8 a.m. tomorrow to 8 p.m. for non-stop fun for the whole family. Please share the highlights of the festival with us using the hashtag Akada2020 at home.
Olajumoke Adamolekun. We're here at Cloud Studios in Victoria Island doing a recording. Happy tunes. My name is Olubumi Abodari Talabi, and I'm here with the Happy Tunes crew. Happy Tunes, Happy Tunes, Happy Tunes series of recording for children, and we're even doing it with children for the Akada Book Festival that is coming up in October. Because here we are, despite the pandemic, despite COVID, doing yet another Akada Children's Book Festival. Thank you once again, Wazobia and Cloud Studios. Hey,